In this video, I'm going to take a look at the most recent developments in AI and how we as content creators can leverage them to nurture, maintain inspiration, and increase productivity. The first thing I wanted to cover was the role of AI in the creative workflow and how I see this as a tool to augment and enhance an artist's capabilities rather than an existential threat to our existence. Now, I have to say this because many of the conversations I've had about AI, whether it's with my friends or family, inevitably lead to this philosophical debate about the dangers that AI may present to the human race. And although I have my concerns, I want to focus on the positives in this video and how it can help us to create content faster with greater efficiency, all the while allowing us to maintain integrity and authenticity. Now, having said that, I want to open up the comments to all types of feedback. So if you have your concerns about AI, I'd love to hear from you. Drop them in the comments box below. Now, moving on to the main theme of this video. What can we as content creators benefit from, and how do we use AI in our workflow? To better understand this, I'm going to list 5 things that I do on a daily basis to produce content for this channel, and then look at the current crop of AI tools and see how these might assist us with these tasks. Every video begins with an idea and requires a fair amount of research. So to help with this, we can use ChatGPT. So in order to get ChatGPT to do some research for you, you can simply go into the text field and ask it to come up with some ideas. So for example, I could say, come up with a viral video on the topic of transhumanism. So it's now starting to create the text for me. It's already created a title, Transcending Human Limits, Exploring the Possibilities of Transhumanism. Intro, start with an attention-grabbing montage of futuristic technology and imagery, such as cyborgs, bionic implants, and AI-enhanced robots. So as you can see, it's giving you the ideas already, and in bullet point form, it's creating some further ideas for content. It's giving you the body of that content, a conclusion at the end, and even an outro and some ideas of how you can create your videos. So it's not doing all the work for you, and certainly we don't want it to, because as content creators, we're rewarded by our own efforts, but it's created a really good framework and a great concept for a video as is. Now, one of the things about ChatGPT at the moment is that it's trained on a pre-existing set of data, so it doesn't interface with live data from the internet right now. Later on in the video, I'm going to show you how to leverage off the Bing search engine, which has ChatGPT installed, and it actually interfaces with live web data. So that's done a great job of helping come up with some ideas for our video, and beyond that, it's began to format a script for us, which comes to my second task that we as content creators are required to do, and that is coming up with full scripts for videos. And this can be an outline for our video. It can be literally word for word content that we would then recite in a video or give to other people to use within our production. So you can then further elaborate using ChatGPT on this topic and ask it to create any length of script you like in any particular style. So I could further this prop now, and the great thing about ChatGPT is that you don't have to go back to the beginning and reframe your questions. It can continue on from your previous thread. So I can say, that's great, thank you. Can you now add more content about the threats of cyborgs to humanity, and then conclude on a positive note. Certainly, here's an updated version of the video that includes a discussion of the potential threats of cyborgs and a positive conclusion. So I won't read out the whole script to you now, but as you can see on screen, it's beginning to print out a second version of that first draft, and it's now turning it into a more detailed script. And we could just go on and keep prompting it with more requests and shape that text into the type of content that you actually want to present on your channel. Now, I wouldn't just leave it at that, because the benefit of ChatGPT and predictive language models is that you're able to generate content very quickly. But the downside is that it tends to produce very generic content, which you would have heard of before. So it lacks originality to some degree. It's been trained on a pre-existing data set, so it's going to have its own bias. And if other people are trying to do the same thing as you, trying to generate content on the same topic, we're going to get to a point where the internet is going to be full of just this generic content that all sounds the same. So it's really important that you don't just stop there, but you take that script, you dissect it, and you add your own words into it. You remove things that aren't suitable, and you really try and create an original work of art out of the content that's being generated. You can do that yourself. Now, if you do want to get some further enhancement to the script, if you don't quite like the way things are worded, or you're concerned about this being replicated by other people, you can use another form of AI, which is called QuillBot. And you can go and copy and paste this content into QuillBot, and it will paraphrase that information so that you have a more unique passage of text. So let's just go to the conclusion. I won't do the whole thing, and we'll have it paraphrase that conclusion. So I just copy and paste the text straight out of ChatGPT into QuillBot, click on paraphrase, and in a matter of seconds, it's created an alternate version of that passage of text. So you can go ahead and do that for the whole script, and then you can decide which one you prefer. That was text-based generative AI using a chatbot. Now we're going to generate images to use on screen in our videos and for thumbnails. So to generate our thumbnail, let's start with DALL-E, which is created by OpenAI, the same company that produces ChatGPT. To try it out, go to openai.com, navigate to DALL-E 2, and click on the try button. You might need to sign up to get access to this, and the sign up would require your email and perhaps even your mobile phone number. So in order to generate a thumbnail for my YouTube video, I'm going to have to come up with a prompt that will describe what I'm looking for in terms of a thumbnail. The theme of our video was to do with cybernetics, futurism, and technology. So I'm going to use all of those keywords in my descriptor and get it to generate an image based on those prompts. So let's start with cyborg in the future, humanoid cyberpunk style, cityscape behind, 8K resolution, photorealistic, bright colors, minimal design. So let's just try that prompt out and see what we get. So there are a few options that you could consider. You could go in there and refine further until you get a better result. But I have to say, from my experience having used it so far, DALL-E 2 isn't as capable as Midjourney or Blue Willow in terms of creating high quality images. I tend to get much more realistic, much more pleasing results using Midjourney. Now, Midjourney is free for your initial usage period, but mine has expired. So I've moved on to another platform called Blue Willow, which is very similar to Midjourney. I think they use the same engine, and this one seems to be free no matter how much you use it. So I'm going to give it a go and try that same thumbnail prompt in Blue Willow. To use Blue Willow or Midjourney, you need to have Discord, which is an application that you can download for free, sign up for an account, and then go to the Blue Willow or Midjourney websites and sign up for your account. Once you get there, you'll then be invited to join the Discord server. I want to access Blue Willow right now, so I'm going to click on that icon. And then you can see there are some rookie servers for the beginners that you can generate your images on. So if I click on a few of those servers, you can see some images that are being generated right now by other users. And as you can see, these are very high quality, impressive looking graphics that you could very easily turn into a YouTube thumbnail or even use it as on-screen photos for a YouTube video. So I'm going to put that same prompt into Blue Willow. To generate a prompt, type in /imagine in the text bar at the base of the screen and then hit enter and then type your prompt. So that's the same prompt that we used in DALL-E 2. Let's have a look at what Blue Willow will generate for us. You'll notice that other images will appear in the mid window, and these will be the requests from other users of that server. So you need to scroll down until you find the results appear. Your results will come back in a grid of 4, and these are represented by U1, U2, 3, and 4. And you also get the option for variation 1, 2, 3, and 4, or you can regenerate all images. So for example, if I liked the first version as it is and pressed U1, it would upscale that image and give me a high-res image. But let's say I actually like image number 2, but want to see a variation of that. I will click on the V2 button and it will start to generate an additional 4 images based on that image. So here we go. Here's another 4 variations. Let's just click on that to enlarge and have a look. Okay, so that's starting to get there, and I could just continue with that and keep requesting further versions. I now quite like version number 4. I'll get a variation of that. The one thing you'll notice is that it's created square images, which is fine for social media, but if you're using them for YouTube, more often than not, you'd want a 16:9 aspect ratio. So you can actually put that in your description. So to do that, you need to type in --AR 3:2 to create a widescreen version of the image. Next, we're going to take a look at some AI tools that can actually help us with the production quality of our videos. There's a whole range of AI tools being developed right now to improve your video editing capabilities. Many of these are already finding their way into applications like Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve and even Final Cut Pro. For example, audio mastering tools which analyze the audio and apply all of the effects needed to master your audio just by pressing one button. These can be incredibly time-saving and great for the novice who doesn't want to learn about all of the intricacies of audio production. Not everyone has Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve, so to demonstrate what this type of AI can do, let's take a look at what Adobe's AI-powered audio recording software can do on the web. This is called Adobe Podcast. To get there, go to podcast.adobe.com. You can sign up for full access to the Adobe Podcast beta platform by entering your email, or take advantage of the freely available tools to help improve your audio with AI capabilities. The first one is the microphone check feature, and this allows you to run a quick test of your audio setup. If you click on the Start button and then click on Test Microphone, Adobe will analyze the audio signal coming into the browser and help work out what the best setup scenario would be for you. It can analyze the distance of your voice to the microphone, the gain, the background noise, and echo, and it will tell you whether you're too close or too far, and you can adjust your setup accordingly in order to have the most optimal recording environment before you hit the record button. Then once you've recorded the podcast, you can use the enhanced speech feature, which will actually make improvements to your audio irrespective of the audio quality that was recorded at the time. Now, for example, I'm going to use an audio file that I recorded a few weeks ago in the open space in my studio, and I used a boom microphone, and I think it was a little bit too far away from the vocal source, and it picked up a fair amount of room noise and echo that I wasn't quite happy with. Now, I could go into my video editor and go and make those tweaks myself manually, but that would take a fair amount of time. So by uploading it directly into the Adobe Enhanced Speech tool, all those effects are going to be applied for me automatically. So let's have a listen to the audio without the enhanced speech on. First up, let's take a look at what we get inside the box. The camera itself is a unique spherical design housing a 4 megapixel sensor. First up, let's take a look at what we get inside the box. The camera itself is a unique spherical design housing a 4 megapixel sensor. So as you can hear, there is a stark difference between the original source file and the mastered file that has been generated by this AI. It's completely removed that room noise. It's added some EQ that I can distinguish. It might be some compression, a limiter, and maybe some balancing of the different frequencies, cutting back a little bit of the bass in my voice, enhancing the mid-range, reducing some of that treble, and it really does sound much better after it's been processed via AI. So an invaluable tool for improving your audio that you can access at podcast.adobe.com. And the final thing we're going to look at today is the generation of titles and descriptions for our videos or social media posts, which can be really useful in finalizing your project and really increasing your productivity, especially if you're generating multiple videos on a regular basis. So you could use ChatGPT and go back in there and ask for a viral title. Create a viral title for a YouTube video about cyborgs and transhumanism. Here's the first one: Humanity 2.0, the rise of cyborgs and the future of transhumanism. Great. What about we try another one? Are we ready to become cyborgs? Exploring the fascinating world of transhumanism. And you can even encourage it to go down a different path. So you could say another one, but darker and more apocalyptic. Transhumanism versus humanity, the bleak future of a cyborg-dominated world. So you could just go on and keep generating, keep prompting it with more and more suggestions until you get the title that you're looking for. Then you could say, great, how about a brief description? Sure, here is a brief description for each of the titles. Humanity 2.0, the rise of cyborgs and the future of transhumanism. This video explores the fascinating world of transhumanism and the rise of cyborgs, highlighting the potential benefits and drawbacks of merging technology with humanity. So very well written copy that you could very easily integrate with your social media posts or inside your YouTube video. The final thing I wanted to show you was the ability to do the same thing using Microsoft Edge. So whether you have a Mac or a Windows computer, you can download the new Edge browser, sign in with your Microsoft account, and you'll see that there's a new Bing icon on the right-hand column, which you can click on, and this opens up a ChatGPT window inside the web browser. And the good thing about this is I feel that the UI has been evolved a little bit further with this collaboration with Microsoft. If you look at the options, you can go into a chat window and you can set the tone of the response from more creative, balanced, or precise. And you could then get responses based on those preferences. You can go into the compose window and ask questions there. And also you could apply a specific tone from professional, casual, enthusiastic, informational, or funny. And you can even specify the format you're looking for, whether it's just a paragraph format, whether you're writing an email to somebody, whether you want a blog post, or you're generating ideas. And you can also specify the length of the text to be generated, from short to medium and long. And then you can go into the window above and do the same kind of thing that we did inside ChatGPT and ask for specific types of text to be generated. So we're going to say, write about cyborgs and transhumans in the year 2030. And there you go, just below, right inside the Microsoft Edge browser, as we have Bing open on the left-hand side, we're generating some text that we could easily use with our content. So hopefully this has provided you with some further insight as to how you can use some of the new crop of AI tools to generate content for your channel. As a final recommendation, I would avoid using the generated content as is. Whether it's text or image-based or videos, be sure to modify the content further with additional edits so that it takes on its own unique flavor and style that is consistent with your own aesthetic and desired outcomes. The name of the game is to be authentic and unique. As AI becomes more accessible and everyone starts using it, there's going to be a lot of generic content flooding social media platforms. So you want to make sure that AI is working for you and not the other way around. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to hit me up with a like and consider subscribing to the channel. See you on the next one. Bye for now.